Hi guys, so this is a quick update on the Balderson O'Connor reading. Okay, so as you know, I had said, and it seemed a little bit strange that O'Connor would be eventually declare the winner, and there would be some kind of delay, right? So it's kind of has turned out exactly as as what I had seen, even though it seemed kind of strange at the time. And I remember viewer sent me, I was like, oh, congratulations. Because of the early in the day, he was ahead. And then it turned out into that he was, tied or whatever with that guy. But I remember replying to her, I said, it's too early. I don't think it's going to happen. Early on, it was like he was clearly ahead. I said, I don't think it's going to happen. I think later when I replied to her, I said, look, it's looking like very likely that what I actually predicted was true, that there's going to be a tie, right? Tie meaning there's going to be some confusion or he may eventually be declared the winner. So there are two possibilities here, guys, and I didn't know this. A couple people mentioned this, and it made a lot of sense. It's possible that the delay I mentioned could have to do with a special election, which is coming right in November anyway. I'm sorry, not the special election, the final election, okay, the real election, because this is only going to last from now until November, so it's a few months anyway. So the question is whether will O'Connor be declared winner of this special election now, right? Because I know there is still counting the votes, okay? That's one question. The second question is, what exactly, because I had seen that something's going to come out about Balderson, I think related to the election, but I don't know, is it going to come out now or later? What's the deal here, okay? And then the last question is, what will happen at the November 2018 election between Balderson and O'Connor? Okay, so I didn't realize there was a second round basically. So is the first question, I'm gonna close my eyes, and I don't even know that I'm gonna use cards, guys. I think more and more I'm trusting the visions. Okay, so all right. So let me ask this question. So will Connor be declared winner of this special election happening now, right after they count all of the votes? What's gonna happen? Okay. Okay, guys. So this was quite interesting. So as you know, I do this kind of visualizing by picturing the starting point, and then the end point is the ballot. Okay, the image, the symbol of the actual election. So it's happening here, and then suddenly, it's as if there's like not an accident, like a imagine if there's like a terrorist attack or something. There's like the police barricades everywhere, and it's kind of very close to the finishing line, like probably very close to those 10 days. I see law enforcement stepping in. Okay, that they have found irregularities in the voting and that they could arrest. I feel like they have arrested such and such for doing A, B, C, or D. And they reveal that they were watching this election very closely, and there were like undercover people. I don't know, guys, sounds kind of crazy what I'm saying, but this is what I see. Okay, there's going to be some sort of law enforcement right between the 8th or 10th. I don't know, just right before, even the day before, a couple of days before, something like that. The votes are announced. The final winner is announced. They step in. And I'm seeing a press conference. Okay, so law enforcement steps in and says that the federal government, yeah, it's not local. Okay, I think they caught these people doing specific things, and those people some of them are associates of, it's funny, guys, the image I'm getting here is kind of close to Watergate, where they broke in somewhere and they caught these people. They were trying to steal some information. Similar, the story being told here is that they caught these people. It's not Balderson directly, but it's some sort of associate of his. A couple of people that they did A, B, C, and D, and they had this scheme going to change the votes. Okay, so the reason I'm saying here, the reason why it was done now is because it can be proven. They don't want to wait because or whatever, because it's happening now, right? They caught the person, as you know, catching it as it happens has like much greater value. Okay, so that's what it's showing, and it's going to link the people that did this are much lower level. Okay, so they're going to easily talk about what they did and why. And like I said, there's a whole thing again, the Rico situation. Okay, so what exactly? I think we already have the answer to the second question. What exactly will come out about Balderson, and when will it come out? So let me ask. So what about Balderson? What is going to come out about him? Interesting, guys. The image I got is like a, those. I feel like I've seen a lot of these images of kids with a monster paper made out of a monster costume made out of a, like if you get a supermarket paper bag and you put out the eye, so it's like the mask that Balderson was wearing comes off, and it shows the A. He made, he's one of their series is showing a series of candidates that have this agenda that they made a deal. They say kind of the Russians and the far right of the Russians. You know how, for example, Trump wants to appoint all these people who does whatever it is that he wants, okay? But whatever it is that he wants, it's not really truthful because he's guided by others, okay? So the other people are probably like the Russians in some ways, right? It's the far right people and also the Republicans who want to control the elections. So I feel like I say, it's showing here also a split in the Republican Party where they've always known. I think every Republican knows that this has been happening for a while. So, but there used to be about civility, right? So they kept it hidden. But now, the radical criminals. Before it's a little bit like between the difference between white collar crime and regular and thuggish crime. The Republicans before were the classy white collar criminals, and now it's like the thugs. Okay, so they take over by saying, no. Remember how before they would hack, quote unquote, create all these distractions to prevent people from voting against the Democrats, but now the thug wing of the Republican Party is changing the votes against their own, okay, against other Republicans to win. So this is one of those cases, okay, too. So anyway, so I'm thinking of Chris Kobach, actually, not this guy, but anyway, but what it's showing is that he, like I said, it showed that he's like a headless toy, and that he's like remote controlled by others. But like I said, once they find these candidates they can buy, they can say, look, I can help you win. As long as you let us, we'll change the votes to do whatever you need, but you have to do A, B, C, or D. So he's one of those, okay? And there's proof that the stuff has been going on, okay? So, okay, so what will happen? And then, oh, by the way, and then this vision, after this whole thing that they stopped, there's a press conference, everything, eventually shows that it's going to take more than 10 days now because there's going to be some, I feel like some kind of external person, I don't know, something, I don't know what, but they're going to put in a different person to count the votes, really. And it's going to stretch even longer, but eventually he will be declared the winner, okay, Connor. Okay, and like I said, before the whole thing is announced, so then November, what's going to happen in November? Yeah, I don't know how it works if one candidate goes to jail or whatever, is essentially disqualified because of the indictments and those kind of things. I feel like he's just not in the picture anymore. It's like the scaling, he's this size and then it just gets tiny and disappears. Balderson. Yeah, so that's that, guys. Okay, I'm not gonna do cards because it's not important. Like right now, I don't need to like double check, triple check right now. Okay, just because whatever it is, what it is right now. Because like I said, we'll have to see. You know what? It almost seems like crazy what I'm saying. Almost like I almost don't believe it, but I believe it. You know what I mean? It's too crazy that there'll be like law enforcement, which is what I had seen before, but it sounds like very intense. Now, okay, So that's it. Okay. All right.